It's a shock to read well-written paranormal romance. I'm hoping to finish this tonight. So I'm on, oh, is that it? I've just made a like mixing bowl sized salad. I'm going to get myself a pumpkin spice latte. Today is a sad day. I want to go home. It's time for another homeware haul. Come here. Let me do your bum. Let me tell you, is this man married? Yes. Am I eating up this romance anyway? Absolutely. So just before we get into this vlog, I would like to say a big thank you to Wild Deodorant for sponsoring this video. If you are unfamiliar with Wild at all, they are a completely natural and zero waste deodorant company that are making the planet better one sale at a time. So there are so many good things that I can tell you guys about Wild, because this is the case that they sent me and this is the one that I've been using for over a year already. So one of the amazing things about Wild is that there is actually no chemicals in their products, so everything that you're putting on your body is completely natural. They are also amazing for helping the planet, because instead of having metal or plastic that you throw away every time you get a new deodorant, you actually have reusable cases, and the little box things that the deodorant refills come in themselves is actually made out of bamboo pulp. So forget recyclable, these are compostable. You simply just load your deodorant into the case. When you're done, you remove it and you can chuck this little end bit into your compost bin. I've actually been using Wild deodorant for over a year now. I think I switched last summer, and there's many reasons why I changed. One is because I was attracted to the fact that it's a natural product, there's zero waste, it's an easy way to just do a little bit extra for the environment with little to no hassle on your part. The main issue that I had is just that deodorant wasn't doing it for me anymore. I'm a very sweaty person and I just felt like my body was constantly adjusting to whichever deodorant I was using. So I decided to try something very different from the like chemical filled aerosols that I've been using for pretty much my entire life. Because of the natural butters that the deodorant is made from, it's super moisturizing, and it also can come in a fuss-free subscription. If you have refills, if you don't need any more, you can very easily just log into your account and change the date that you would like your delivery. You can add your favorite scents to your subscription. So a couple of my favorites from the permanent collection are the coconut and vanilla ones, and also the mint and aloe vera. So you can just fill your subscription with those if you want, or you can choose to mix and match for a bit of variety. They also have a lot of limited edition scents which smell really good, and they also last for a very long time. One refill that is this big lasts me at least a month, if not 2. But if anything I've said today sounds interesting to you and you want to switch to a environmentally conscious and natural deodorant, you can head down into my description box, click on the link right at the top and enter the code BOOKS20 at checkout to get 20% off the entire Wild range. And once again, a big thank you to Wild for sponsoring this video.
Not tonight. Don't feel good enough to put up a fight. I hate when I'm still up to see the morning light. When everyone's on Earth but I'm a satellite. But I can't climb.
So as you guys know, this month I am participating in the Magical Readathon, and I think that this is actually going to be my last like full weekly vlog for Magical Readathon. So I've now, as of this moment, completed my career and I'm working on quests, or I'm about to start on quests, because if you guys watched last week's vlog, did not go so well. If you guys don't know what Magical Readathon is, it is a 1 month long readathon, my favorite readathon ever, created by the wonderful G from Book Roast, and I will of course put the announcement video down in the description box for that. But I have 2 books left on my TBR that are both paranormal romance, both Patreon picks, and while I am kind of behind, I'm technically behind on Patreon picks, but I've also kind of intentionally grouped these together because they were the same genre, and I've waited for a moment where I've had like a week to be able to read these together. I thought we'd have a little bit of a themed reading vlog because I'm about to start 2 very popular paranormal romance series. So the first one I'm going to be kicking off with is Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. This one was my June Patreon pick and it was Melanie's pick, and I have heard so many amazing things about Nalini Singh that I am desperate to read this just to see what the hype is about. I've heard amazing things about this, especially from seeing people's reviews, and then when I've mentioned the, is it the Guild Hunter series on my my channel. I've heard amazing things about that one as well. Like, I don't think I've heard anything but glowing reviews for Nalini Singh. And as somebody who doesn't have the greatest track record with paranormal romance that's like this, you know, like 300 and odd pages, I'm really intrigued to see what it is about Nalini Singh that people love so much. So this one is set in a world that has Psy and also has changelings, which I think the changelings are kind of like shapeshifters, and the Psy are not allowed to experience emotion, and the main character actually experiences desire. That is pretty much all I know about it right now. I have read the first page, which is the prologue essentially, which is like a page and a half. And it's already coming in with like how the Psy, or like why the Psy are the way they are, like why they can't experience emotion, and it was done kind of intentionally to suppress certain emotions that they didn't want them to experience. So I'm already very intrigued and I'm excited to dive into it, especially after feeling very slumpy while I was trying to read the Old Kingdom series, which I'm still really sad that I didn't love. I'm hoping that this is going to be one that I'm going to want to sink my teeth into. I wish this was a vampire book actually, considering I just made what could have been a terrible pun. But in terms of the magical readathon, I'm hoping that this is going to fit in for a quest, because at the minute it really doesn't. I can't get it to fit anything, and I want those guild points. So two quests that I've been eyeing up. There's one where the prompt is to read a book that features or mentions a game, and there's one that's like features potions or poisons. I'm eyeing up both of those quests, hoping that this is going to fit one of them, but I'm also not holding my breath because there's nothing in the synopsis that makes me believe that it is going to, but we can only hope. Also forgot to mention there that I am currently on sprints with Steph. And we have a couple of highs for you guys. I have received a parcel, which I believe is an arc from Faber, which I'm really excited about. I think this is a sequel. I haven't read the first book, but it's by an author who I've previously really enjoyed. So we'll crack this open. I am currently on sprints with Steph again, so I'm a little bit paranoid. That I'm going to end up unmuted, but oh, that's the press release. Oh, it's pretty. So this one is Cursed by Marissa Meyer, which is a sequel to Gilded, and oh my god, I've just seen on the back the finished copy for this, which has really pretty stenciled edges. Oh, this is so pretty. The release date on this is, wow, it's the 8th of November. I thought it was going to be a lot sooner than that, so I do definitely have time to read both of them. Is this a duology as well? Because if so, I need to do a video where I like read the sequels to a bunch of duologies I've started, because that's like such an easy way to finish series, and I'm just not committing to it. So I could definitely like do a vlog like that and include both of the books in this duology in there. Oh, I love the insides as well. We have like moon phases across the top of the chapters. So all I really know about Gilded is that I think it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, which is really interesting and reminds me a lot of the TV show Once Upon a Time, which I've only watched the first season of, I think. Actually, I have like the DVDs, which is wild because I don't collect DVDs anymore, but I used to collect box sets, so I have the DVDs for like the first 4 seasons and just haven't watched it. I really need to watch that show. But yeah, anyway, it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. It's YA fantasy, and the main character is ordered by the king to spin straw into gold. I really liked the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer when I read them like many years ago before I was on BookTube, but because of that, she's always an author that I'm interested in, and I'm really excited because this is also a fairy tale retelling to see what the deal is with this series. So thank you so much to Faber for sending this my way, and I will definitely, I need to do an arc vlog as well. There's so many vlogs that I need to do and there's not enough time in the world, and I'm not a fast reader, but I'm doing my best, guys. Okay, I'm on a struggle bus today. Just in general, nothing seems to be going right for me, and I don't know what my plan for the day is. As you guys know, I like my routine, I like my structure, I like my to-do lists, and I don't know what I'm doing today, which is proving to be a little bit of an issue. So I'm gonna get on with puzzling that out. I did film an unboxing yesterday, so I need to tidy up because I did that like right at the end of my work day, so I need to put everything away. I'm gonna crack on with that, and then it'll probably be editing today, I feel.
I've got my whole damn life, but I still don't have time. Was just starting to see, but now I'm going blind. But it's all the same.
Hello everybody, I'm just about ready and set up to film my September TBR, aka the Readathon TBR. As you may have noticed, I did go and get my hair recolored this morning. I've had a little bit of a change up because I pretty much really liked my hair. I do really like my hair, but I was just feeling a little bit bored with it, but I didn't know what to change because I really liked my hair. So last time I went, my hairdresser suggested that we try a different color. It's a little bit of a shock. I'm really happy with how well it colored, but it might take a little bit of getting used to. But the reason that I'm here is not because I've read anything. I'm on like page 30 of Slave to Sensation, and one thing that I can say about it so far is that it's a shock to read well-written paranormal romance. I don't feel like this is an experience I've had before. Dark Fever, I think, is the first book in the Fever series by Karen Marie Monin. Is all right, but it's the main character in that. I know that she matures and gets better throughout the series, but the dumb bitch energy in the first book was a little bit much. So yeah, I'm really liking the writing, and I'm also surprised that the romance or like the sexual tension between the two characters is coming in straight away. So I'm really excited to continue more with that because it seems like we're going to have a solid plot in there as well. But the one thing about my salon is that it is right next to the local bookstore, which is, it does sell new books, but the majority of the books are secondhand. And the reason why I love it is that it has a really good or a really big fantasy and sci-fi section. So we have like lots of newer things, and then they have like a vintage sci-fi and fantasy section in the back, which is all like the mass market paperbacks. While I was on my way back, while I was passing, I couldn't not go in, and I actually found a couple of things. So the first one was Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie, and I don't think I've mentioned it anywhere that isn't a live show, but officially 100% the next catch-up book club series after we finish Elderling Along is going to be The First Law Universe by Joe Abercrombie. It is only going to be starting in January, but this was £2, and obviously I know that I'm going to need to read it, so I thought I may as well pick it up now. I don't know anything about the First Law series apart from that the first book is apparently very slow with no plot and is just about the characters, but I think it's broken up into 2 trilogies and 3 standalones, with the first trilogy being the First Law series, and then this one, I don't know, I just picked it up because I know that it's First Law, but I think that this might be the first of the standalones. Literally no idea, but it was £2. And then the other one I got, I actually mentioned in last week's vlog when I was hoping I was going to enjoy Sabriel, but it is Extravaganza City of Masks by Mary Hoffman. So this is a series that I read when I was a teenager, and for like an early teenager. I think I was just about 13, but this is a series that I got from the library and I really loved. It's one of the series that I remember being in bed like up until midnight, 1 a.m. reading it because I was just so absorbed. And I remember that at the time that I read it read a little bit older, so it was really exciting and kind of complicated in terms of like the level that I was reading at that age. Like it was essentially a higher age bracket than I would usually read, and for the longest time I could not remember what it was called until I was in a charity shop and I saw one of the books and it unlocked all of these memories. All I remembered about it before that is that it is about time travelers and it is set in Venice. So I think that the characters travel back from the like modern day, or is this like early 2000s? It might be before that. 2002. So they travel back from modern day into 16th century Bellezza, which is inspired by Venice. So is it Bellezza? But yeah, I don't really know much about the plot, but I remember loving it and I've been really wanting to reread it for some time. So yeah, I was going to pick up, they had a Robin Hobb book, one that's not an Elderlings book, but it was the second one in that other, is it the Soldier Son trilogy? I restrained myself to 2 and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really excited to reread this at some point. Maybe I'll do a video just rereading the series when I have all the books.
Summer rain on the window, watch the time float on. Cool air blows a memento as I fall behind. I'm so sorry for dreaming about the future.
I simply cannot tell you the amount of times that I have thought today that I need to update you guys and then have not. Like I literally nearly just got up and headed into the kitchen and still hadn't done it. But it has been slow going with Slave to Sensation. I feel like the Old Kingdom series has put me in a little bit of a slump, so I'm not getting the urge to like power through books anymore, which is sad because it means that I'm not going to be able to do too much questing for the Magical Readathon, which is something that I really wanted to do. Like, I accomplished my core TBR super early, had loads of time, and then I'm not reading. That being said, I'm hoping to finish this tonight, so I'm on, oh, is that it? No, yeah, no, that's right. Oh no, I thought I was a lot further into this than I am. I'm on page 222. Yikes. I am enjoying it though. So this is the first book in the Psy Changeling series, and it is set in this world where there's humans, but then you also have the Psy and the Changelings. So the Changelings have no emotion, and they pretty much control the world because they can do everything logically with no emotion. And the reason why they don't have emotion is that there was a program called Silence that was created to strip all of the emotion from the Psy to curb the amount of serial killers there were within the Psy population. And they found that they couldn't just remove rage from the Psy, they had to remove every emotion. So our main character, Sasha, is the daughter of a Psy that is high up in the council, and she actually does feel emotions, and she's terrified of being caught out because she knows that her brain will essentially be liquidated in rehabilitation if the Psy find out that she's actually feeling emotions. So she is actually putting together this business deal on, I guess, behalf of her mother, where they are building a bunch of new homes in the forest for changelings. And because these homes are for the changelings, they are going to be in contact with one of the packs while these homes are under construction, and Sasha is overseeing the project. So the alpha of the pack that Sasha is in touch with is Lucas, and Lucas is actually looking for an in with the Psy because over the last couple of years there have been a string of changeling women that have gone missing. There is always a pattern. They're taken from somewhere where they should be safe, like their apartment or like on a regular route or like very close to work, and they're tortured for 7 days before they're returned to once again a safe location like their apartment and then murdered there. This has been kept under wraps by the Psy because the Psy don't want anybody to know that this silence program they have, which is hush hush, but they essentially don't want anybody to know that there is a flaw within the Psy. So it's all under wraps, and Lucas is looking for a way in, like he wants to get close to the Psy or kind of like break into their system to get some information on who this murderer is, because he's pretty convinced that the Psy know who the murderer is and are covering it up. So because there is a defect in Sasha and she does feel emotion when she's not supposed to, she is immediately drawn to Lucas, but she's not supposed to be, and he is immediately drawn to her, which she finds very strange because the Psy and the changelings just very naturally, I want to say, repulse each other. The changelings don't repulse the Psy because they don't feel anything, but they do view the changelings as inferior. I'm enjoying this. I actually don't think I really like shifter romances all that much, and it kind of throws back to what I was saying about Zodiac Academy. I think that Seth is a total creep because he keeps like sniffing and touching people. I will say it's a lot less creepy in something like this than it is in Zodiac Academy, because there is a very distinct lack of consent with Seth where he just goes up and like touches people and is all over them, and they explicitly tell him to back the fuck up and he doesn't. Whereas in this it's more of like it's like consensual, and it tends to be between the members of the pack. They're very touchy-feely. It's just not for me. I don't like it, and I don't like this thing which throws back to Ice Planet Barbarians, where it's kind of a I want to drag you back to my cage and like mark you all over kind of situation in a very like animalistic way. I do like an alpha male in a book, and I do like dominant males within books, but just the way that shifters are, they're just a bit full on, I think, which is what puts me off a little bit, because it's almost like the instinct causes them to override the desires of the female in terms of like, well, they don't want to be dragged off to a cave and like kept protected for the rest of their life kind of situation. It's just a complete disregard of that. I also am noticing with the more romance that I read that I definitely prefer series where every book in the series follows the same characters, and this is one of those series where every book is following a different couple. The reason why I prefer them to follow the same characters is because I really like slow burn romances and like a slow build of sexual tension, where this kicked in quite early, and while nothing extreme has happened and I'm 223 pages in, like it's still very much not an established relationship, it was still very present from the beginning in a way that, like, because I didn't warm up to the characters, like I don't feel the tension that they are experiencing between each other. Becca. That being said, it's probably the best written paranormal romance that I've actually read, and I am definitely intrigued to, one, read more from Nalini Singh, and two, continue on with this series, because I've only heard great things, and with a series like this, the first book probably isn't going to be the best anyway. So yeah, that is where I'm up to. Like I said, hoping to finish this tonight. I do have my Patreon like top tier live show in 3.5 hours, but it's not a workout day for me today, so I don't have anything else on for the evening. Might join some sprints because there are a couple of 24-hour readathons happening. I have just got off sprints with Aaron and Monty for Aaron's 24-hour readathon, and I know Sandra from Gotta Think for Things is doing one and has invited me to the sprints at some point throughout the 24 hours, but I'm not sure right now whether I'm going to join this evening or tomorrow morning. I guess we'll see how I feel. So I've already started eating it before I showed you guys because I am a trash goblin and I forgot that I wanted to show you, but I've just made a like mixing bowl sized salad. Like he literally made it in a mixing bowl. This is like a quarter of it, and my bowl is full. And then like I handmade croutons, I cooked some chicken mini fillets, we have avocado and feta on top as well. That's not within the mixing bowl size salad, like those are extras, but I literally have no regrets. This is so damn good. I'm gonna do this all the time. Like literally that salad is gonna last me the rest of my life. Also say hi to Hammy, who keeps edging this paw closer and closer to my salad. And while I eat this, I'm watching some of the Bookathon TBRs before I join sprints with Sandra in a little bit.
Hey, I'm sorry for dreaming about the future. You and I'll be better when we're old enough. Take apart all the good things, stripped away what's there to do.
I feel like it's been a while since we've done one of these. I do actually really need to check in with you guys because I have finished Slave to Sensation and I have started something else. Like a big spanner has been thrown in the works, and I've started something that was unexpected, but it's an arc that just appeared in my inbox, and I was like, you know what, we gotta do it. But outfit of the day, it's very much given. Why is it still August? Like, why is it not September yet? So we got the ripped jeans. I need to get myself like a thick leather belt to really complete outfits like this because they have that's like 80s vibe. But we have the ripped jeans. This is Hamilton's bathtub, a washing basket. We have Miss Olivia Reads a Latte down here as well because I've just been doing a little photo shoot because how could I resist? So yeah, this is my Lululemon top, but it's like a kind of a black crop, so it works. We got a black shirt, the dark lipstick, which honestly didn't look that great with my previous hair but looks amazing with this hair. The Ouija earrings, still need to put my rings on, which is a problem, but I mean it's fine, takes 10 seconds. And yeah, I am gonna come and check in with you guys regarding all of the books that I've read very soon. Well, very soon. It's going to be later today probably now because I am going to get myself a pumpkin spice latte. I heard that they're here, they're in the UK. I need one, as you can tell, like very much this outfit requires a pumpkin spice latte. So that is something that I am indeed going to go and do, and we're also going to go into York, get some lunch, have a walk around, probably buy myself something nice, let's be real. That's the plan for the day.
Hi there, what can I get for you?
Hi, have you got pumpkin spice yet?
Only for gold members.
Oh, okay. Can I have a sugar-free vanilla latte, please? A grande?
They come back on the 1st.
All right, thank you. Today is a sad day. I want to go home.
But I just don't remember. I'm so sorry for dreaming about the future. Baby, I'll be better when we're old enough.
I am home, which means I've been to somewhere where there's a TK Maxx, which means it's time for another homeware haul. Then we're gonna check in before I go and eat some leftover monster salad that I made yesterday. I went to TK Maxx, bought some things as usual. I need to be stopped. When I say, can we go to TK Maxx? Curtis needs to start saying no, because I got this, right? And I'm really scared because I didn't tell you guys. I put it on my Instagram story, but we bought Brie a cushion to go in the bottom of her crate. We got it from the pet shop. It was only like £7. It's just a thin cushion. I thought we'd make it a bit comfortable for her because she pretty much just lies on the tray with a blanket scrumpled around her head. So I then put her in her crate and she was in there for about maybe 2.5 hours while I was getting some work done. I went back and there was fluff everywhere. So I thought, of course, let's buy her another bed. I mean, look, moon phases. When am I ever gonna get a dog bed that matches the aesthetic of the house if I didn't pick this one up? So this one is going to be in the living room. It's not going in her crate. So the theory is that she won't really be left alone with it long enough to tear it apart. But Curtis just kept saying, don't say I didn't warn you. So I'm a little concerned. But I mean, I had to, so I got that. You know, it wasn't all that cheap. It was $29.99, but considering it's a dog bed, like I've seen them much more expensive. So I thought for the size of it and the fact that it matched like the house so well that I would just go for it and we'll see what happens. The issue is that she was having a lot of diarrhea in the night, which you guys know about the diarrhea sagas. So we started taking her blankets away from her for periods of time when she did have diarrhea, so she wasn't like pooping all over her blankets in the night, because then obviously we'd have to wash them and it was a whole thing. So she kind of got used to just sleeping on the plastic of her crate. And then when we have her in the living room, like she doesn't really sleep on the couch or anything. She sleeps, not even on the rug, she sleeps on the laminate. But I just feel bad because I feel like she should have a bed, but also she's choosing to sleep on the hard floor as opposed to on something squishy. So it's her own deal. Speaking of pet stuff, this was a stupid purchase. I'll admit it, I'll take this one. It's like a dog onesie. This is why I shouldn't be allowed to have pets. And don't think that this is kind of like favoritism for Brie because Hamilton has stuff like this. It's just he really fucking hates it, so I've stopped trying. Whereas Brie's a baby, so she can get used to dog onesies. And I mean, she's going to be wearing this all October on the street. She's going for walks in that. She's going to like it. And then the rest was actually homeware. So we picked up this Ouija glass tray. Don't know where I'm putting this yet because I want it somewhere to lie flat. It's not going to be a heavy duty kind of tray, you know, it's more for the aesthetic, but we'll probably, I don't know if this is going to go in here. I actually really don't know because I don't have a lot of surfaces that don't already have things on, but we'll figure it out because it's gorgeous. Also, of course, the thing that I was waving around earlier is this was actually in the Christmas section. It is a candle holder, which I want some more things for my mantelpiece, and ideally, you know, actually I want some things to add a little bit of height because everything's kind of short on the mantelpiece in the living room. I really like deer things. Like we have this big obnoxiously sparkly gold deer that we get out at Christmas, and I like antlers. I like the aesthetic of antlers and stuff, but obviously I don't want real ones, so we go for the fake gold ones. That's really heavy actually, it's sturdy. And then I also picked up a reed diffuser because the one in the spare bedroom I love, but it's run out and I can't just buy a refill for it. So I thought while we had some autumnal ones, I'd get one of these. The only room that I can get a reed diffuser to actually work in is the spare bedroom. We have sunlight. There's one in the window in here and there is sunlight in here in the morning. Cannot smell a thing. Living room, cannot smell a thing, but my spare bedroom smells beautiful. I know last time I went to TK Maxx I said that we were restricting me to, where's my other candle? There it is. We were restricting me to 1 candle per TK Maxx visit because, as is proven, I'm going to go quite frequently. But I got 2 this time because the TK Maxx at Monk's Cross in York has like a really good selection of candles. So I got salted pumpkin and caramel. I don't like caramel and butterscotch and like really rich vanilla scents in candles. Makes me feel a bit sick. But I think the pumpkin is freshening this up a bit, so it smells really good. A lot of the candles today actually just smelled like burnt matches. Which was interesting. And then this one smells amazing, also has a really nice jar. I need to show you guys my fireplace because it is literally just covered in pumpkin scented candles. I am not exaggerating either, literally covered in pumpkin scented candles. But this one I really like the jar on, and this one is pumpkin rum. Yeah, and this is kind of just like, it's just like a sweet kind of pumpkin kind of scent, but it smells good. So yeah, that was this homeware haul, because y'all know I cannot be stopped. I mean, the thing that makes it better, okay, is this excessive? Yes, But do I only do it one season of the year? Because autumn, like my house is pretty autumnal themed all year round. And yeah, sometimes I'm a little bit extravagant at Christmas, but I'm not that extravagant because I always think like, why am I spending so much money when I can only have my Christmas decorations up the 1st of December to like is it the 5th of January that you take them down? So I don't like to spend a lot of money for something that's only going to be up for a month because I just can't do Christmas in November. It just feels wrong to me. But autumn is all year round for me. So do I spend a lot of money at once at TK Maxx? Yes, but I'm only doing it in autumn, so it's okay. In terms of reading, I did finish Slave to Sensation last night. I gave it 3 stars. I think for paranormal romance, it was very good. I really liked the world and how it was set up with the Psy and the Changelings, but I did struggle to wrap my head around some of the stuff that happens with the Psy because they have the Psy-net, which all of their minds are linked onto, and it's kind of like the internet, but for Psy, and they need the feedback created by this psychic web to be able to survive. And a lot of the things that happen in this book, especially when we're coming up to the main conflict, happen on the net. And the main character talks about like entering doorways and like pulling back through walls and like running and stuff on the Psy-net. And it was hard for me to visualize how she visualized the Psy-net, if that makes sense. So I did struggle with the visualization of those elements, but I do really like the world and the Psy and the Changelings and how we have this silence that was created in like 1979 to try and get rid of serial killers, but how it obviously isn't working, and all of like the politics. And I do think that the Psy are definitely more interesting than the Changelings. I think that the characters actually fell flat in here. I think that especially the delivery of the dialogue was very just like monotonous, like no feeling behind any of that kind of stuff. And I feel like it could do with characters that I care more about and characters that are better developed, because all of that stuff kind of really felt flat for me. But for a paranormal romance, I think it was really well written. The smut was okay, although I expected more of it, to be honest, especially because the romance was established so early on. Like within the first 2 chapters, these two had met and you could tell that they were attracted to each other. There was only really one sex scene that did last for 2 chapters, and then every time they had sex afterwards, it was just kind of like they had sex. I was like, okay. But yeah, I am intrigued to continue. I think that I will like the other series, the Guild Hunter series, more than this, because this follows a different couple with every book. I don't know if we revisit any of them at any point, where I'm pretty sure the Guild Hunter series predominantly follows like the same characters. But yes, I will continue with this at some point because I do find the world interesting, and it has a better developed, or it seems to have a better plot than a lot of paranormal romance that I've read. So this one is done. I am going to try and fit this into a quest to magical readathon, but I need to kind of revisit those and see what there is. And I was going to be reading Dark Lover by J.R. Ward, which I do still want to read in this vlog, but then Kelsey sent me an email last night that had The Door at the End of the Stars in, which is her new book. It is a standalone, I think, sci-fi romance that's kind of like the Joss Whedon show Dollhouse, which I love that show, but it's set in Los Angeles and the world is kind of going to shit a bit. There is like quite a lot of technology, like there's cell phones that are kind of like embedded in your arm, and a lot of the world relies on AI, so like it can be difficult to get a job because of this. And something has happened with the main character, who's called Veronica. Her family aren't doing so good, so she takes herself to the hotel, which is this establishment where you can essentially rent out your body. So you will sign a contract with them, and then guests will be able to come to the hotel and pay however many thousands of pounds it is to be able to rent out somebody else's body, and they can have that body for 24 hours. So I am not too far into it at the minute. I'm probably around 70 pages in. So I am doing well considering I only started it last night, and I'm enjoying it so far. But we've kind of only just got to the point where Ronnie is like renting out her body for the first time and what is going on with that. And I am going to be using that for a magical readathon quest as well. I cannot remember what the name of the quest is, but during the all-nighter there was a new quest revealed, which was to read your most recent purchase, which obviously not a purchase, but it's like my most recent acquirement because it was literally emailed to me yesterday.
Oh yes.
Oh, comfy.
No biting. Licking's good, but not biting. Licking's good, but not biting. The breathe on it. Sleep. Oh no, that's not good. Come on.
52 treat pickup.
We're not bothered by treats, aren't we? We just want to bite moons.
Drop it. Let go. Right. One arm through. Tushy's off. Drop it. Do you see your little pajamas? Come here. Let me do your bum. Yeah, now roll over on your belly. You just knocked my camera over. Oh my days. Stop wriggling.
There we go. Occupied.
Beautiful. Oh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. No biting your new suit.
That's what the title.
No, because I didn't know if it would fit her.
She'll take them off.
Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday afternoon and I'm about to start the task of packing all of the Bookathon bundles minus the bookmarks because we still don't have bookmarks. They were supposed to arrive tomorrow. I actually ordered them with the delivery date of tomorrow in mind, and I've just gone on to check my order process to like see where it's up to in the printing stage and whatever, to find out that apparently they're delivering it on Friday. But I sent an email and was like, I specifically ordered from you because you gave me a delivery date of tomorrow, to which they replied that they haven't changed it, so they don't know why there's an issue. So I sent them a screenshot. They said like, I can't have them any sooner than Friday. So I sent a screenshot of like my order that has the delivery date of tomorrow and was like, this is what you told me, this is what I was promised. To which they're obviously going to reply like, oh, it's just an estimate, but I swear to God, if these bookmarks aren't perfect, I'm going to lose my shit. So yeah, I need to pack 40 bundles. I think 39 actually. So I have an excessive amount of candles here. That's almost, I think, the right amount of coasters. Curtis is going to be bringing some mugs down to me very shortly, but I am stressed still. I'm one of those people, like, I can't move past this until this is done. So I want to do a massive restock 2 weeks on Friday, I think will be the date for it. That is like all of the fall stuff, like a small Bookopoly restock, and my new Patreon book club, there's going to be a candle for that, so I want that going out as well. And I can't even start planning that until this is done because I can't mentally move past this, if that makes sense. Like, some of you will be able to relate, I feel. But yeah, I'm stressed. I'm currently on sprints with Jade and Steph though, and we are all helping each other get through today because it's a stressful one.
Hey, I'm sorry for dreaming about the future. Hey, I'm sorry. Do you think we're old enough?
Running to the bath right now, but before I get in, I need to take a moment to let you know my thoughts on The Door at the End of the Stars so far, because it's very different than I expected it to be at this point. I'm 175 pages into it, and obviously the premise of this and this like hotel in here is that you can go to the hotel and you can rent somebody's body for 24 hours, and whatever you do in that 24 hours is up to you, providing that you don't like hurt anybody or like physically harm anybody, I should say, or try to hurt or mark the body that you've rented, so you can't get tattoos or piercings or anything. So obviously we know that something is going to go wrong. So from the very first moment that the main character has her body rented out, she is present at the same time that her body's being rented, which you're not supposed to. You're supposed to have no recollection of anything that's gone on when you wake up after your body's been rented, but she's present like the entire time. And this girl has rented her body and she goes to a bar, picks up a guy and sleeps with him. He's pretty hot. So the main character's kind of like, okay, this is weird, but I knew that it was kind of gonna happen. Like, it was likely something like this was gonna happen, so whatever. But then the same girl keeps renting her body and going to see this same man. But this man is, one, famous, he's a famous actor, and two, he's married. So the main character gets suspicious very quickly. She's like, what is the point of this? Like, what is the plan? Who is this woman? Because it becomes very obvious very quickly that the person who's renting the main character's body is doing this intentionally and has had a plan from the start to specifically target this man. But why? So I was going into this expecting some sort of romance. I didn't know how it was going to unfold with the premise of like the hotel, but it's giving me Verity by Colleen Hoover right now. And I'm wondering, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of the quotes that like Kelsey has shared on her Instagram story during the writing process, I'm pretty sure that a lot of them have been romantic in nature, and I don't don't know how at this point, because it's feeling very sinister. It's feeling very much like a thriller to me. I want to know what's going on. I feel like to make this romantic in any way, there has to be something going on with this guy's wife that makes cheating like okay. Like there's got to be something going on with her. But while she seems like a bit of a bitch at the minute, I have absolutely no idea what it is, but I'm really intrigued to find out. So I'm very shortly going to be doing my workout, my first workout for the week actually, because I was out on Monday, so I skipped what should have been like my strength day. But I did do like 11,000 steps, so it's fine. But yeah, today we are doing 45 minutes of intervals and arms with Kendall Tool because it's an emo ride, which of course are my absolute favourites. Oh, I am so sorry. You're balanced on top of a mug on top of a fairy loot box right now. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about The Door at the End of the Stars, which I'm currently on page 337 of 479. And I'm hoping that I can finish it tonight. That being said, after my 45-minute workout, it is 7:10. So I have a 45-minute workout. I'll walk Brie, which will be 20 to 30 minutes. And then I need to shower, obviously, after my workout. So I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have when all of that is done before I want to go to bed. I do have therapy in the morning as well, so I do have to be up early because I like to be awake for a decent amount of time before therapy, so I can kind of go through the rituals of preparing myself for the day to kind of ground myself before I have to do therapy. And then obviously like I have 2 videos I want to film tomorrow. But anyway, regardless, I went into this thinking it was like a sci-fi romance, which yes it is, but I definitely still get in Verity by Colleen Hoover vibes. So I would say that this is like a sci-fi romantic suspense, which when it comes to categorizing it, because I have my spreadsheet that I categorize things by genre, and it doesn't matter too much in there if I get things wrong. But then I also have my blanket where I knit a row for the genre of every book that I read. So I have no idea at this point what I'm going to categorize it as when it comes to knitting that row. But yeah, still giving me very much like romantic suspense vibes, which is a genre that I really, really love, even though I pretty much only read Verity. At the minute, we're at like a little bit of, not a lull in the story, it's more like a calm before the storm where things are progressing romantically. And let me tell you, is this man married? Yes. Has his wife done anything truly awful? No. Does she deserve to be cheated on? No. Is she a little bit of a bitch? Yes. Am I eating up this romance anyway? Absolutely. So if you are somebody, I know people like absolutely 100% cannot stand cheating in any way, shape or form in a book, would not advise that you pick this up unless, because we still have a lot of mysteries that I haven't unraveled yet, so unless that has anything to do with his wife and she turns out to actually be a monster, then the excuse for cheating I would say is not good enough for the majority of people. But I am not somebody who brings my morals into my book, so I'm absolutely fine with it. And I'm just like, I'm on edge. Like I said, we're in a little bit of a calm before the storm where things seem to be progressing romantically, but I know that the shit has to hit the fan at some point, and I don't know what shit is gonna hit what fan and when. Like I said, I don't know if his wife has anything to do with anything that's going on here, but there's just like moments it can be quite calm and peaceful and then something a little bit sinister happens. So I'm kind of a little bit being swept up in the romance. At the same time, I'm like, the audacity of this married man. And then there's all of like the sinister suspenseful stuff with the hosting and like the fact that there's 2 people in Veronica's body at multiple points because she's present when she's not supposed to be during these hosting events. This is kind of like Dollhouse, so the Joss Whedon show, meets The Host by Stephanie Meyer, which is a book that I really loved back in the day. So if you are a fan of those 2 things or those 2 concepts and Verity by Colleen Hoover, I think you will have a good time with this one. I'm having a great time with it. I'm just reading it like, you know the emoji that's like eyes, lips, eyes? Or like eye, lip, eyes, because not 4 eyes, just 2. I'm kind of reading it like that. And yeah, I don't know, because I didn't know that it was going to be like romantic suspense when I started it. I don't know where it's going. I really don't know where it's going. And I don't know if I'm excited or scared to find out. Hey, we are having a do-over of Monday because it is shacket season. Babies. So you want to be getting your jackets from the men's department in Primark. They're much, much better than the check shirts in the women's. The check shirts in the women's are made out of like, oh my god, why are we doing it? They're made out of like the thinnest material possible. If you want your good thick jackets, you want to be in the men's department. They also have like a nice beigey brownie one with like green on it that I kind of wish I'd also got, but this is my black and white one, adding it to my extensive collection of check shirts / jackets. But yeah, I have so much to do today. I have had therapy, went really well, but because it's therapy day, I get to have a little treat. So we're going back to Starbucks. I'm gonna get the pumpkin spice that I wanted on Monday. I'm a little bit nervous, you know, I'm revisiting the site of trauma right now because like I went for the pumpkin spice, they did not give it to me. I'm feeling optimistic. It's the first day of September, nothing can go wrong. And also 1975 tour dates today. Announced today, and I'm ready. The last gig that I went to before the world shut down was 1975 twice. I went once in Manchester, once in Sheffield, and that was their last tour. So I'm like, the world is opening up again. I'm ready to get on it. Today is just about getting back on my bullshit in all ways. I do have, like I said, a lot of stuff to do. I need to film 2 videos today, ideally edit 2 videos today. Don't think we're gonna manage to do it all, but it's fine. I'll just work Saturday. Like, who cares about weekends?
Alright, what can I get for you?
Can I have a tuna melt panini and a grande pumpkin spice latte, please?
Any cream on the pumpkin spice?
Yes, please. How are you doing?
Okay.
Pumpkin spice latte, please. Just on the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good. I'm so happy. Hey, hello. Welcome everybody. I am so hyped today. Like, I am in such a good mood. And I don't know why, because it's 2 p.m. and I still have not even attempted to film. This is the first This is the first thing that I'm actually filming today, and my main objective on the day was supposed to be filming and editing, but I have done other stuff. It's not like I've been doing nothing. But I need to check in with you guys because I have finished. Look at the state of this room. This, I don't know if I showed you guys. I don't think I did. I also, oh my god, right, okay. So these are all of the Bookathon bundles that are going to be leaving tomorrow, and I actually thought that I told you guys what had happened in this vlog, and then when I was editing I realized that I don't think I actually did. So I ordered bookmarks from the same company that I've been ordering from since December for all of my Patreon bookmarks, and everything was fine, I assumed. And then last week I started to get a little bit suspicious, so I started stalking them on social media, and everyone on their Facebook page is just complaining about the fact that no orders are arriving. So I then just went into a mad panic, and I've now ordered from a different company that's been recommended. They told me that they would have the bookmarks with me. Like, when I ordered, the delivery date was yesterday, and then I checked on Monday and the delivery date was Friday. So I queried this, and I was like, I specifically went with your company because you were giving me the fastest turnaround time, and now that I need these items after being let down by somebody else, like, you've moved the delivery date. So they pretty much just said, I don't know why the delivery date's been moved, but you can't have them any sooner. So now they're arriving tomorrow, but that's why everything has been so delayed, and by the time you guys see this video, all of the orders are actually going to have already gone out. But I just thought that I would let you guys know here because I had thought that I'd explained what was going on with those. I know I've mentioned at some point in this video that I still didn't have bookmarks, but I hadn't explained exactly why. So that is why this room is like this, because I have like 30 of the bundles there boxed and ready to go, so when the bookmarks arrive I can just put the bookmarks in. And then I also have a stack of like just empty boxes here behind me because a couple of people have placed larger orders, and I pack those, like I save my empty subscription boxes when I know I have large orders. Then down here we just have a ton of Bookopoly candles and bubble wrap and just all sorts of stuff, but I just don't really see the point in me doing anything with this room until all of the orders are out, because just getting the orders out will empty a lot of the stuff in this room that's cluttering up the floor. But pretty much the only empty space in this room right now is the spot of floor that I'm sat in. Everything else is chaos. But I did finish. It's the first day of the Bookathon now. The magical readathon is over, and I have finished my last book for August, which was I nearly said to sleep in a sea of stars, which is absolutely not correct. The Door at the End of the Stars by KJ Sutton. Now, I still cannot tell you what genre this is definitively, but it is set in a futuristic version of our world where the technology is more advanced, and it has a romance in it, but also is kind of a thriller. So I'm gonna say the sci-fi is minimal enough that it just makes the plot kind of a little bit more twisted and interesting. So if you, like I've said throughout this, if you are a fan of Verity by Colleen Hoover, if you like romantic suspense, you're probably going to like this. And the sci-fi is nothing dense that you won't be able to wrap your head around. It just adds like an extra dimension to the story, the setting, and the plot. So I gave this one a very high 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. I really love romantic suspense because, as you guys know, I love romance. So the romantic relationships obviously hook me in, but then I love being on edge because of the thriller plotline as well, and because it is romantic, I get a little bit more invested in it than I do in your typical thriller, because I'm also hanging on this romantic thing that's going on. Like I said, there is an element of cheating in here, so if that is something that you really don't like, then I would definitely advise that you stay away from this book. And also content warnings for substance abuse, overdose, addiction, suicide, and I think that is it for this one. But it was really good. It had me hooked, and I was just like compelled and turning pages the entire way through this. I had a really good time. I was also invested in the romance one because it was a decent romance, and it had this, I really love a forbidden romance. And yes, while it did have cheating in, and that's not something I can do in real life, his wife didn't deserve to be cheating on, even though she was a bit of a bitch. But just that element of forbidden romance really did it for me. I'm a sucker. I love me a forbidden, tortured, angsty romance. I'm picking up Magnolia Parks next, guys, so stay tuned for next week's vlog if you are interested, because I'm expecting that to be toxic as fuck, and I am here for it. But yeah, anyway, back to The Door at the End of the Stars. I really loved it, and I liked some of the elements of grief in there. Speaking as somebody who lost their mother a few years ago, I really identified with some of that. So really loved it. It was so good, Kelsey, if you're watching this. I loved it so fucking much. The only reason why it didn't get 5 stars is that I just felt like all of those plot points coming together could have been a little bit tighter, and I felt like the pacing was a little bit slower in the middle and like faster towards the end, which I would have liked a little bit more of a balance of like a bit more fast pacing throughout the middle and a little bit slower pacing as everything was coming together at the end. But I loved it. So if G, also Book Roast, is watching this, you did an amazing job with this readathon, my love. I loved Magical Readathon as always. A little bit of a wrap up on my progress. I finished all of my books in my career. I also got an extra one for animal studies just because I read an extra book and it wouldn't fit anywhere else. And I have completed 2 quests during this vlog. So the 2 books I read, you know, I read 8 books in the first 2 weeks of the month, and then it's taken me the rest of the month to read an additional 3 books, which is, it's wild. But the 2 quests that I completed, The Door at the End of the Stars was for Cute Hippogriffs Need Helpers, and the prompt for that was to read the most recent book you've gotten or added to your TBR, which obviously was literally as soon as it was sent to me, I read it. Big thank you to Kelsey, obviously, for sending me The Door at the End of the Stars. And then Slave to Sensation, there is a new quest that's gone up recently called Help the Library, and the prompt is to read a mystery book. And while it's not a mystery by genre, Slave to Sensation is one of those paranormal romances where, aside from the romantic nature of the plot, the main plot is like a murder mystery slash kidnapping mystery, as we all know because we were all there when I discussed the book. And of course, a big thank you once again to Wild for sponsoring this video. Please don't forget that if you head into my description box, click on the link and enter the code BOOKS20 at checkout, you can get yourself 20% off all Wild products. But next week's vlog is going to be the first week of Bookopoly-thon. It's going to be a bit of a variety one. I'm just going to be reading stuff off my Bookopoly and extended TBR, but I am definitely 100% going to be kicking off with Magnolia Parks, and I am so excited. So do please stay tuned if you are at all interested. But I do hope you've enjoyed this vlog if you've made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.